just looking at some of the plants in my greenhouse right now. Today I wanted to talk a little bit because I saw a comment on one of the plant purge groups about someone was posting basically their pet peeves and things that they don't like in the plant community. Someone mentioned that on YouTube no one is really going over the steps. They're doing a lot of unboxings, but they're not going over the steps to actually acclimate the plants. So I wanted to go over my acclimation process for my plants. I actually do the same thing, whether they're imported or whether they're coming from Florida or wherever they're coming from. I'm trying to find a new plant, whatever. I do the same thing with all my plants. So as soon as I get them, I open them up. I'll do an unboxing if they're from some company. But I'll open up the packaging. That's step one. Step two is I check the plant over, check the roots, decide whether it's going to be and if it needs to be in moss or something. Mix up some neem, Dawn dish soap, and water in either the spray bottle or in the sprayer. Shake it up, take the plants outside or put it over the sink and just spray them down. It's really easy. Now I flip them over, get the roots, get everything. Usually you're not supposed to do this in the sun. If you do it in the sun, make sure you get them out of the sun to dry, or else it'll hurt your plants. So, neem, Dawn soap, and water. Mix it up in a spray bottle, or if you have a big sprayer. If you have like a bigger order, I'll use the big sprayer and I'll just spray them all down, turn them over. Make sure you get the fronts and the backs of the leaves, the stems, the roots, I get it all. And then I usually let them, make sure you keep them out of the sun when you do this and while they're drying. And for 7, I think it's 6 or 7 after, I usually do like 10 hours just in case. And then what I do is plant them up after that. And if it's an anthurium, I usually do a mixture of moss and perlite or just moss, depending on the plant and its stages. If it's a philodendron, if it's needing to be, if it's needing more roots, then I will plant it in moss and throw it in my greenhouse, or chunky soil. So perlite, what else do I have in there? Cocoa coir, charcoal, a little bit of soil, bark, I think that's it. But mix that in there. They usually have to be watered more often with the chunkier soil, but I'd rather do that than deal with root rot. You have to monitor the plants, monitor them the next few days, make sure that they're doing well. If they're not acclimating, definitely take them aside and assess them, look at the leaves, see what they're doing. Losing a few leaves is not that big of a deal. They're going to grow back, but definitely look out for that because it could be a root rot or something if the plant's just completely failing. A lot of people get afraid, like I get afraid if I start losing leaves when they first come, but that's kind of just part of acclimating. And then I think of it this way: if it loses all of its leaves or loses most of its leaves, it's going to grow back, and those leaves that grow back, they're going to be acclimated to my living situation, and they're going to thrive and be okay. Oh yeah, most importantly, when I transplant them into their new soil medium, I will water with either B1, that's usually my go-to, Super Thrive, or now my newest go-to is Newt, or a mixture of the 3, and I'll just mix them up in a water bottle and soak the, well, not soak it. I'm kind of a light waterer. Like I said, after the root rot, never again. So I make the moss for the anthuriums. I moisten that one and then do its thing. And then for the philodendrons, I usually just spray down or pour it on there. But like I said, I don't soak them. Then I just let them dry out, and I kind of repeat. I feed with Super Thrive and all those pretty regularly. Almost every watering is I will set the plants aside. So if they do have some kind of pest, and so I keep them out of the sunlight, don't throw them in the greenhouse just yet and on the bright lights. I keep them like on my oven, like on the side of my oven, so then they can just sit there, pests will die, and so I leave them there for a few days, and then I'll usually, if they're an anthurium, I'll throw them in the greenhouse. Now I can, I guess, throw them all out here. But yeah, that's what I do. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe and like and follow me on Instagram, melaninplanter. Thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy.